I've been told it was an idiom in their language, or at least in one of them. It's madness, really, all their languages. How they managed to get anything done at all is a mystery. A quarter of the world was burning when they came to us. Half by the time we agreed to meet with them. We shouldn't have waited, but for the life of us, we couldn't understand why they cared in the first place. The planet wasn't their homeworld or one of their colonies. They had never claimed it. They couldn't even survive its atmosphere without their damned suits. The indigenous species wasn't anything special either. They'd barely achieved spaceflight and had only just begun mineral extraction in the scant asteroid belt between the first and second planets in their solar system. And so it was, not knowing why, that we met with them. We brought with us a host of fire and death. They brought only 3. They were clad in their standard life suits, perhaps a little bulkier than average. Gray suits that completely encompassed their bodies to protect them from the elements. Little square patches on their arms spelled out what were to us meaningless warnings. Smooth silver face plates masked their features entirely. You never see a human's face, only your own reflection. Perhaps there is meaning to be found there. But at the time, we were too ignorant to even bother to look. We met on a flat plain that, before our arrival to the world, had been a shallow sea. During our conquest, it had been drained when one of our payloads had flattened the mountain range that kept it from an inhabited valley. Neither the sea nor the valley's residents still existed in any meaningful fashion. We arrived in our typical fashion, letting loose with our most powerful weapons. It was a blatant display of intimidation and power, but they did not respond. Not even when burning streams of ash fire danced inches from their feet did they so much as flinch. They stood stoic and quiet, allowing us our custom. When we had finished, and the section leaders had returned order to our masses, their middle envoy stepped forward. He, or perhaps she, I cannot truly tell the difference even now, did not speak. Instead, it walked forward 3 paces and looked down at the sand of the Dead Sea. In one slow, deliberate swipe of its leg, a groove was drawn through the sand. It was neither deep nor wide, barely a stride's length. We did not know what to make of it. The envoy stepped back to its compatriots, and its translators activated to deliver only one word: stop. We checked our own translators, and when we found them to be in perfectly working order, we laughed. What fools we were, we laughed. We laughed at the pathetic ultimatum they had delivered us. We stood amidst half a world of ash and death, and to keep us from the cities that still stood, to keep the denizens yet unslain alive, they sent 3. We laughed. We were fools to do so. They must have understood our reaction. Their translation programs were second to none, even then. They could not only analyze vocal or chemical communication, but physical actions as well. Trying to slip a rude gesture past a human was, and still is, as futile as trying to take a walk through deep space. Still, even knowing as they must have, the humans did not visibly react. A few minutes passed by before one of their smaller trans-atmospheric transports arrived. We had still not recovered ourselves when they boarded, but I was aware enough to notice the parting glance the envoy gave us before he too climbed into the shuttle. The craft lifted off quickly, leaving only us and the pitiful barrier line the human had dug in the sand. We did not cross it immediately. The younger ones made jokes of it, jumping forward so that their hind pincers just barely grazed the line before jumping back in mock fright. The elders took the moment to reorganize in preparation to assault the city that lay just beyond the old shore of the sea, not far behind where the humans had stood. When all was ready, the section leaders smacked and slapped their charges back into order. Lines were reformed, weapons recharged, and the order was given. We marched over the line the humans had left in the sand. We marched, and from the sky rained death. Author's name and the link to original text is in the description. Consider tapping the thumbs up and pressing the subscribe button if you enjoyed this video.